Hello everyone, Nathan Mann here. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be painting digitally a puppet, a Harry Potter puppet. This was a gift to my girlfriend from her brother. He travels abroad a lot and he often picks up really interesting items, artifacts from the countries he visits. And so she's the beneficiary of those wonderful presents. She thinks it's a little creepy, but I liked the puppet. I liked its rosy cheeks, its red lips. I thought it was a really funny and cool rendition of Harry Potter. So I chose it for a quick digital still life, threw him on top of a Romanesque pillar there. It's a little tiny one, not a full size. Fortunately, I don't have one of those. But here in the background you can see I'm finally throwing in a shadow here to give some idea of where the light's coming from. Got the color of the table. I'm feeling pretty good at this point. So I decided to get rid of my initial sketch and I go into the hat. The hat's pretty wonky. It's been molded out of clay on the actual figure, actual puppet. So it doesn't look exactly like a witch's hat that you would usually imagine. But here I'm going into the face, throwing in his little wire glasses, my favorite part of the piece. And you can see I did some Rembrandt lighting, so I tried to include a triangle of light appearing on his cheek. It's not 100% Rembrandt lighting, and that's because I had to change where the lamp was set up because the shadows and the lighting on the rest of the figure were not up to snuff. I wasn't exactly 100% happy with that. Here I'm going through his giant cloak. That thing covers most of his body. I'm assuming in order to hide all the stuffing that's used in the actual body and the wire armature. Um, I threw in Hedwig on the left hand side there. The puppet actually is holding a little Hedwig model as well. You'll see that I'm sticking mostly in the mid-tones, mostly grays, blue and green grays, not too many lights, not getting too dark. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm trying to combat the issues I was having with my previous paintings. I was finding them coming out too fake-like. They didn't appear real, or they didn't just appear painterly, not the way my normal traditional paintings come out. So I decided that I could fix that in a couple ways. Basically, I would try to stick to the mid-tones, keep everything unified, and then also I played with the flow on the brush in Photoshop. So the flow allows you to adjust how much paint is coming out of the digital brush. And I think that's working a lot better for me than messing with opacity. So at this point, I finished a good go through of the pedestal. That was probably one of my favorite parts because I could play with all those greens and blues and reds and just working on the little subtleties and the differences between the grays there. But here you can see a couple of the major things that I had to fix when I got home from work today. You'll notice that his right arm, well, on our right hand side, his left arm is a little askew, doesn't look right, and then you'll notice his head's not proportionally right, it's a little small, and then there's a red splotch on his scarf. So I had to get rid of those things, fix those things, I increased the head size. But in the end, even though I had to do a little post production, it came out good. Thanks for joining.